Inserting a new row is pretty easy, but what if the scenario asks for inserting an alternative rows or alternative blank rows for 10 or 15 lines? Pretty difficult, right? So let's learn how do we do this using Excel and through VBA. Let's learn how to achieve this using Excel. So the first step what we need to do is we need to copy these numbers down below. So if you don't have the numbers in your data sets, I would recommend you to create a new column and have this serial number incremented by 1. And then select this entire range and then we will sort this. Go to home, sort, custom sort, and I want to sort the serial number values smallest to largest. Make sure you check this box that my data has headers. Then click OK. There you go. So we have this new blank row that's been inserted in each and every alternative records. But I want to get rid of this. We know that we created this dummy rows, dummy serial numbers for a reference to create these blank rows. So what I'm going to do is I'll select this entire range again. I go to home, under find and select we have go to, and then select special, and I'm going to select blanks here. So once I click blanks, all the blank rows or the blank records gets highlighted, and then I'll get rid of these rows. So how do we do that? Hit Ctrl minus from your keyboard, and this once the pop-up appears, we need to select the entire row. That means we need to delete this entire. Let's learn how to do the same thing using Excel VBA. So I've created a new module called InsertRows and have this couple of lines. That is how this is just to calculate the last row of the particular data sets. So if you haven't watched my earlier video, you can watch the video on how to we calculate the last row. I'll put that link in the description below. So let me see if this is correct. And I'm just calling the last row 6. So as we know, once we insert the rows here, like all these 5 rows, so the number of rows will be incremented accordingly. So will be incremented by 2. Let's say if I insert here, then the last row became 7 from 6 and so on. So the basic logic is whatever may be the last row, that should be incremented by 1, or else I'll just multiply that with 2. So that once we have the blank rows, the total number of rows will be 12. That is 6 plus 12, right? And then I'm just going to put a for loop. Delete this off. For I is equal to start inserting from row 2 or from row 3. So let's start with row 3, since if I insert a row here, it comes and sits here, right? So start from row 3 to the last row, right? And next I. But there is a catch here. So if you just go by this method, what will do is it will create a new row. So let me run it and show it for you. Oh, so sorry, I'm doing nothing here. So what I'm going to do is I'll just say rows I can select that row and then insert. Okay, it inserted a new row in the just top of row 4, and then it keeps on increasing or incrementing the same row, but it will not jump to the next specific item. So how do we handle this? Let me delete all of these things. So what I need to do is once you insert a row, let's say once you insert this specific row, then jump to the next second level, not to the next row, next to next. So to do that, I have to say step 2, that means jump every 2 rows. Now let us see how does this work. Okay, it inserted the row and then good and so on. There you go. So we achieved this. So basically what we are doing is we are counting the rows, initial number of row records what we have, and we are incrementing it with 2 so that we have the range of the entire last larger data set. and then we are stepping it, we are jumping 2 rows to increase or insert a new row. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe. Thank you.